Who is Gigi Zulueta? Great question and not easy to answer. To understand who Gigi was means going back to his formative years, his life story. Before we go on, it might be interesting to note that Gigi met his wife Janet in kindergarten class under Sister Maria Gracia at Saint Scholastica. It was then that Janet decided that Gigi was the one for her, according to Gigi. I met Gigi in the late 50s. He was our neighbor in our extremely rural area of Loyola Heights. He was my year mate in Ateneo, and already he was so very easy to befriend. We became inseparable both in and out of school. Typical of Gigi, he was industrious and active. He was a Cub Scout, then progressed to a Boy Scout, and was part of the drum and bugle corps, part of a schoolmates band called Unix, and also a drummer of a jazz band composed of his older family members. As he continued through high school, his love for music flourished, playing for high school bands and joining the Glee Club. At this time, his leadership skills and his civic mindedness, his caring for others, also started to be noticeable. He was instrumental in founding the Loyola Youth Association, and he joined the Camera Club, the Blue Book, which was the yearbook of Ateneo, and the school newspaper, The Highlights. Perhaps the biggest mistake he ever made was listening to his father and enrolling at La Salle. He was a good son, and his father wanted him to take accounting, which Ateneo did not offer. However, in the end, his father was also a good and reasonable man, and Gigi returned to Ateneo after one semester in La Salle for the rest of his college. In addition to continuing his extracurricular activities that he started in high school, he became involved with the Ateneo Sophia University program, which was an exchange student program. He fell in love with Japan and thus started his lifelong love for travel. After Ateneo, he worked for SGV as a management trainee for a few months, then went off to the United States to take his MBA at Columbia University in New York. It was there that he once again met Jeanette Bautista, and unlike kindergarten, love blossomed and they got married. New York, grad school, and Wall Street. It was at this time something in Gigi changed. His attitude shifted. Hard work, never a stranger, intensified. He worked his rear off at his first job in Wall Street. He started looking for answers to life, to everything, and filled his spare time reading about business trends, self-improvement, and anything to help him get a better understanding of the real world. Then he got a call to return to Manila, and life had to start all over again. This was my first goodbye to him. It was not, I would not see him again for the next few years. Manila in the 70s was dismal. Martial law was still in existence, and the business climate was challenging to say the least. Despite this, Gigi persevered. He started a one-man consulting business which evolved into a biggest executive search company in the Philippines. Today, a great deal of our highly respected executive were his clients. Throughout this, Gigi contributed his fair share to society. He became president of the Makati Rotary Club, He was continuously active in the various projects of the Ateneus University. He served his country as a resource speaker for the Philippine roadshows designed to promote our country. He served as past director of the Helen Keller Foundation. He was an honorary consul for DAPAL, not to mention a director of dozens of companies. In 1996, Jeanette was stricken with cancer. They went to Stanford University Hospital for treatment. And in that crucible of crisis was when our friendship intensified. By that time, I was living in the Bay Area. As you can see, Jeanette has recovered very, very nicely, for which we are all grateful. Life was good. In November 2016, I got a call from Jeanette. Gigi died. He died in Japan. I felt empty more than anything. This is my second and last goodbye to him. Gigi once asked me that when he dies, did I think people will visit him? The answer was what as I thought. The viewing was wall to wall with people for 4 days. The church was filled with mourners when we laid him to rest. To this day, my heart is heavy when I think of this. Gigi left me with a lot of memories, good times mostly. But most importantly, he lived true to the Ateneo ideals. He was a man for others. Friends and strangers have benefited from his kindness and compassion, and mostly his love. I will never forget him. Ad maiorem Dei gloriam.